Good morning from here in the city of Las Tunas in Cuba. It's shortly before 11 o'clock on Tuesday, May 8th, and I spent the night here on my drive from Santiago de Cuba to Havana, taking 3 days to do so. And I was here 2 years ago covering the events around the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia. Maria La Castro, director of the National Center for Sexual Education, and her supporters came here because Las Tunas was the provincial seat of the events around Idaho. So I was actually here for 2 days in 2015. I remember it being extremely hot. The heat was unbearable. I remember the roads driving in here from Camagüey were absolutely horrible, the Carretera Central. So interesting to be back here again. It seems like the city's been spruced up a little bit since I've been here the last time. The Wi-Fi at the Hotel Cadillac, which is where I'm standing here, is a little bit better. But life goes on, and so I'm headed to Camagüey in a little bit to meet with a reporter who is gay. He works for one of the radio stations there, so we're going to spend some time with him and then drive to Trinidad, which is a fairly touristy town on the Caribbean coast. It's not too far from Cienfuegos, where I'll be spending the next couple of days, and then I will drive back to Havana on Thursday to the airport to pick up Michael Keeve, the Blade's photo editor, and we'll be covering more of the Idaho events that will be starting in full force in Havana starting on Friday, and Saturday's the big march through La Rampa in Vedado. So that's the plan for today. I had a pretty uneventful drive here yesterday. I stopped at a few places along the way, including Fidel Castro's grave rather, and spent a little bit of time there, not too long, because it was incredibly hot in Santiago yesterday, so it was about 95 degrees in the broiling sun, so I didn't want to spend too much time there, so maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I left the cemetery, drove to El Cobre, which is about 45 minutes from Santiago de Cuba, and it's it's where the basilica in which Cuba's patron saint is located, and it's in the mountains. It's in an old the town is named after an old copper mine. It's absolutely beautiful. The landscape, very lush. It was a little bit cooler than in Santiago, so that was refreshing as well. And then had an uneventful drive to Las Tunas. I stopped at a few places along the way, had a cafecito in the town of Puerto Maestre, and a woman's house. It was 10 Cuban pesos, moneda nacional. It was probably like five or 10 cents. I can't do the math very well, but it was very inexpensive. Just had it in her house. It was lovely, and talked with them for a couple of minutes, and then was on my way, and shared the road with a lot of cows and cattle and horse-drawn carts and bike taxis and all of that. So it was interesting to say the least, but it's really wonderful to see the Cuban countryside and to get out of the cities and have that perspective as well. So that's the latest for me here in Las Tunas in Cuba. I will be, as I said, driving to Camagüey shortly, and I will be in Trinidad tonight and tomorrow, and then I will be driving to Havana on Thursday. So hasta luego.